Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Sagie and I'm OctaSec. Today we're going to talk about the 7th of October. Today is the 7th of October, 2 years after the horrible thing that happened to Israel in those dark days. Okay, so let's dive deep about what happened in the 7th of October. The 7th of October was not only a physical attack, it was a digital attack. Today we know that the modern battlefield is not only a boundary or a city, it's also a network, a cell phone, and everything. So we know that the terrorists of 7 October did a lot of collection to OSINT, okay, a lot of Facebook and YouTube, Instagram, all that. They use the OSINT to collect data and from soldiers, okay, and they use AI to sniff through all the soldier posts, and they took the information from those posts and everything that the soldier posted online and use those to attack us. Okay, what happened? One Saturday morning, Israel was awake to ruthless attack. Hundred of warriors, maybe thousand of rocket was fired, but behind the scene, before the first blast, it was committed a virtual attack. Government website was hacked, civilian system was flooded, the digital media channel was busted, and it was a digital warfare before the physical warfare. And there was coordinated attack by Hamas, and it triggered the Iron Sword war that lasted until today. Intelligent breakdown. There was signs. There was there are people that watches what called the barrier fence between Israel and Gaza. Okay, there was watchtower. This is the Israeli system, see and shoot system. And before the attack, there was a lot of writing against the defenses. There was military and people working there, and the sighters, the soldiers that saw it, they took it to the high command in Israel and said, see, we think that they're going to attack, we think something going to happen. And the Israeli high military and the high commander in the military thought the Hamas was determined. He was not going to do anything about this, and they thought that nothing going to happen. It was like kind of fog of war that we thought the Hamas would not do anything. And this wasn't the classic example for known problem. There is a lot of information, and when the whole system not have the full puzzle to see the whole picture, we don't see the threat. The real challenge is to see the whole information, to see all the things that happened, and to get a real fundamental understanding of the clear map of the battlefield. And as a security specialist, not battlefield, but maybe see the whole scene, see the whole picture, see what's happening, and the rule that show us the same rules that alert us in real time and not think that everything is a false positive. Okay, the cyber dimension of today warfare. The cyber is not only a supplement; it's an integral part of the attack. Moment before they attack us, the Israeli website was corrupted with propaganda from the Hamas. They posted everything on Telegram. You can see it. I remember on the day of 7 October, I was in my house. There was a lot of. It was Saturday. It started with one. It was alarm, and I was asleep through the alarm. I didn't wake up, but like 30 minutes after that, it was the sound of the boom from the missile and the Israeli system that destroyed those missiles. There was a lot of, like noise, and I really thought that I was going to die that day, that they're going to come to where I am, and I thought I was surely going to die. And we got to my wife's parents' house, and it was on the news, it was on Telegram, and you saw the people kidnapped, and you saw they're posting it in Facebook, how they kidnap people, how they shooting people, how they killing people, and how they put baby heads and on when you hang up your clothes, baby heads, putting babies in ovens. It was terrible. It was, and I thought they will come for me too. Okay, let's continue. The battle of the mind was not less powerful than the battle on the ground. There was deep fake news, even fake testimony by soldiers. It's a very important reminder for that the warfare to become a strategic weapon, we must develop endurance not only for computer viruses, also disinformation that act like a virus but not on the computer, on our mind. Infrastructure security. During the attack, the communication also collapsed in certain areas. It's proof how much Israel was leaning on a few servers or a connect point, and in the future the infrastructure need to be more with oversight and with redundancy, with air gap, with physical backups. It's not only technology, it's new grounding way to capture security and to capture field security. Okay, the human factor. In the end, the human is the one to push the buttons. The soldiers and the civilian was one using unsecure application. They passed on photos, location, sensitive information. The lesson is clear, okay? Awareness is the best defense, and advanced technology, if you use it right, there is no real defense. As a great mentor of mine once says, you know, you can take a knife and you can cut someone, and you can take a knife and you can cut a salad, or you can make a cake, or you can make a dinner. It's everything. It's dependent on how you use it, and the way that you use something is very very use, and the technology is advanced, and if the user does not mean the risk, there is no real defense. You know, you should know, no matter how much you imply in security, firewall, system, EDR, leak prevention system, IDI, IDE, XDR, it doesn't matter. If your user does not concern about security, you will be penetrated, you will be compromised, no matter what. The first thing every cybersecurity need to do is to educate his audience, to educate the users. Sorry for me for taking it that far. It's kind of emotional to me. Digital and ethics project like 730 and DUT 730 is preserving the testimonies and voices from the day, and it's also bring up very difficult question how you defend very sensitive information of survivors. Are you making sure that it will not be used politically or commercially? It's talking about responsibility, not about technology, about humanity and memorial and memory. So what changed since then? Israel took a leap first, and there was we develop intelligence centers, basically AI, cyber, new cyber infrastructure, very tighter cooperation with the IDF and civilian and high-tech infrastructure, and it shows that from the disaster we are like the phoenix rising again. But it also springs innovation and responsibility. The 7th of October become a global lessons, not only for Israel but for NATO and the United States and Europa, to learn from this event, to understand how hybrid war look like. The world is changing in the 21st century. The war, it doesn't start with a tank, it starts with a firewall. It starts with a computer. It started in dark basement when attack group starting to attack infrastructure or cyber defenses of country. Key takedown to share intelligence, it save life. The cyber and kinetic front are inseparable. The digital library and the hygiene of national security, the civilians awareness is national defense, and every citizen is a part of the system. It's not a slogan, it's reality. Closing thoughts. This very dark and horrible event was showed that technology without coordination, without trust, without responsibility is worthless. Information security is first protecting people, not files, not systems, but people. And the real conclusion is the future is dependent on our resilience, about our cooperation, human values, not only technology. You first need to be a person before you are a professional. That's what I think. That's what I live for, and tribute and reflection. The 7th of October changed us forever, changed me forever. That's for sure. But with the pain come resilience, and I hope we will not be surprised and not be blind, and we will not be blinded no more. And we will remember learning, getting stronger, and also as a system. And the real resilience of the Israeli citizens start with the art of the civilians. And within the 7th October, we saw how much the Israeli and the Jewish people are great nation, how much we can help each other, and how much we can do for each other. There was a lot of volunteering in groups for the soldiers and to help, and me too are volunteering to help people and help organization with the our need, and every time everyone did what they could. And that's it. See you in the next one. If you liked it, and if you don't like it, also do subscribe, give a like or dislike. I know it's very charged subject. And see you in the next one.